first day out. Once upon a time, there was a little engine numbered 36. He lived in a shed with 6 other engines. They were all the same size and all bound for the same company, the Furness Railway. They were all excited because they had never pulled trains before. But 36 was the most eager of all. "How much longer?" he would ask the workmen each day. "1 day less than last you asked," they would say. "It'll come soon, don't you worry." But 36 wouldn't listen. Each day he became less and less patient. At last, 2 men came along. They looked at 36. "You're very excited," they said. "Would you like to come out today?" "Yes, please," replied 36. So they lit his fire, made lots of steam, and 36 puffed away. The other engines were very relieved about having some peace and quiet for once. Soon, 36 found the yard. He looked around excitedly. He had never seen so many coaches and trucks in one place before. Up till now, he had usually watched the workmen build a handful or so of them, but this was the first time he saw them in large numbers. "First time in the yard, eh?" came a voice. 36 looked around and saw a little tank engine with 6 wheels, an open cab with a roof, and water tanks that led towards an elderly, smiling face. "I remember being in thy shoes, lad. All full of life and eager to work. Name's Ned. What's yours?" "I haven't got one," said 36, "but I've got number 36. "What? No name?" exclaimed Ned. "'Tain't right. 'Tain't proper, I tells you. Thou ought to have summat other than just a number, thou ought. 'Tain't nowt that makes an engine feel like he's at home if he's got no name to speak of. Managers, I tells you. Never time to give decent engines like us names. Ah well, nae doubt thou would find thyself a name or summat, eh, 36? "I suppose so," 36 said thoughtfully. He was taken aback by Ned's sudden outburst, but found himself warming to the old engine. He looked towards some smartly decorated coaches. "What are those for?" he asked. Ned followed his gaze. Thames for a train what's due out from the station to Barrow." "Barrow? I can't take the coaches to a wheelbarrow unless driver brings me one," said 36, feeling very confused. "Nay, you daft ape. I means Barrow as in Barrow in Furness. Them's going to station there like you ken." "Oh," said 36. "That makes more sense." "Anywho, could you take them to Barrow, please?" Ned asked. "I's got too much to do here, so I has." "Of course," replied 36. He buffered up to the coaches. They were uncertain of what to make of him at first, since they had never seen him before, but he brought them to the platform so smoothly that they decided they liked him at once. "Ain't never seen anyone handle them coaches as gradually as ye, 36, Ned smiled. "Sure thou hasn't done it before, or summat?" "No, I haven't," smiled 36. He had only been built a few days ago, and already he had made a new friend and was about to take his first train. "Just one thing," said Ned. "Driver tells me thy train's gonna have a special passenger aboard. Mind you waits for him, and it be right. 'Scuse us, a goods train to sort." Ned gave an encouraging blast on his whistle and puffed away. 36 whistled back in reply and waited at the platform. He looked excitedly at the throng of waiting passengers. They all walked around him, admiring him. Some boarded his coaches, others were deep in conversation. The station master patrolled the platform. The luggage cart clattered along. The porter banged the doors, but still the important visitor didn't come. 36 grew more and more impatient. The driver explained the situation to the garden station master. "We'd better hold the train here until the visitor comes," said the station master. So they did. Trains rushed by, passengers leaned out of their windows to ask what was happening, and 36 stood, rapidly losing his patience. "Come on, come on, come on," he groaned. "Why can't we start?" "Because of the visitor Ned told us about," replied the driver. "It turns out he's the controller of another railway. We have to make a good impression on him." "But why?" "Because it's polite," said the driver. "Besides, he's due for a meeting with our manager and cannot miss it." The argument went on for some minutes, and the guard and station master joined in, but it was no good. 36 was adamant. "But we've been waiting here for ages already," he grumbled. "Besides, look at the passengers. They've been kept here waiting for hours. If they are kept waiting for much longer, there's no telling what they will do." The three men looked back. Angry faces stared back at them from inside the coaches. They relented. "All right, I'll arrange for an engine and a coach to come back and fetch him," fumed the station master. "Right away, driver." The station master walked away to make the arrangements. The guard climbed into the brake coach. The driver opened the regulator, and 36 chuffed out of the station. No one noticed a distinguished-looking man in a brown coat and top hat step onto the platform. 36 puffed along the line. He was feeling very happy. The sun shone, the birds were singing, and he could feel a sea breeze all along his boiler. He pulled in at the next station, where the driver explained what had happened. "Tell them to send the other engine with its coach back to the last station at once," he said. So they did. 36 watched as an engine who had been waiting in a siding was coupled up to a coach and quickly steamed out of sight. But no sooner had the engine disappeared when a rather tired and cross-looking gentleman entered onto the platform. "I've been through some things in my time," he said. "I've had engines who won't start, I've been thrown into bushes on account of rough riding, and I've had engines get stuck in mudslides, but never," he glared at 36, "have I been completely abandoned by the engine who was supposed to take me and have to catch a horse and cart to it." 36 looked sad. "I'm sorry, sir," he said. "I only wanted to be on time." "What do you mean by that?" the gentleman demanded. "Well, sir, all of my passengers had been held up because I had to wait for you. I didn't want to let anyone down, and I didn't want to be late." "I see." The gentleman looked 36 over. "Newly built, are you?" "Yes, sir. I only left the workshops a few days ago. This is my first time pulling a train." "That explains it, then," the gentleman said, his expression softening. "My name is Mr. Mack. I run a railway on the island of Sodor. I was away on some business and intended to come back by train. You're a young engine, number 36, and you have much to learn. You remind me of how I was when my number 1 arrived. I can see that you mean well, and it was indeed very thoughtful of you to put the passengers' needs first. One of the first rules of running a railway, that is. But you must also remember to wait when you need to." "Yes, sir," said 36, feeling very relieved. "I will." After he had finished his work, 36 went back to the yards. He told Ned all about it. "Aye, thy visitors rate about summit. Thou's got to take more care, 36, and be more patient." "I suppose so," 36 agreed. "You certainly know a great deal about this sort of thing, though." "Ah, I was much the same as thou in my youth. Always in trouble or summat the like. Take now I does not know about running trains now. Stick with me, kidder, and you'll come to near harm."